Remember how we talked a while ago about how when dysregulation hits, one of the least helpful things you can hear is stop it. just stop doing that. Just don't. I don't know. Have you tried that yet? I don't know. The unfortunate part about our brains is the more we tell it to stop doing something, sometimes the more we strengthen the doing of that thing. Anybody here who has any OCD tendencies knows how hard it is when a thought comes into your mind and it feels like it's very compulsive and intense. To just stop thinking about it is really, really difficult to do. And the more you try to resist that thought, the louder and more intense sometimes it can get. So, what we do with this attention training is we don't fight our brain. We don't fight the thoughts. We notice them. And we can even allow them to stay, but we allow them to fade into the peripheral awareness while we redirect our attention somewhere else. Now, sometimes the intensity of where our attention is going could be pretty big. So it's helpful to create attentional anchors. These are kind of like, imagine like an anchor on a boat. What does it do? Well, it helps the boat stay steady even when the waves are crazy out of control. There's tons of wind, the current's going all over the place. The anchor keeps the boat from drifting wherever the water takes it, right? The attentional anchor works the same way. It doesn't stop thoughts. The thoughts are going to come. Remember those thoughts, the feelings, they're all a wave. They're going to hit you. First arrow exists. It's coming. But what it does do is give your attention a place to return to. And there are a lot of different kinds of attentional anchors that we can create. Sometimes the best anchor is in your own body. When I say anchor, I mean these would become like your new objects of direct attention. Your breath, grounding into mindfulness, so feeling your feet on the floor, the sensation of your hands, your heartbeat, the movement of your chest and shoulders and your stomach rising and falling as you're breathing in and out. These anchors, they're always with you. No one can take them away from you. It's your body. There's no one that can prescribe it. You don't have to pay me for these things. You pay for this one time and then you're done, right? You take it with you. You use it everywhere you go. It's yours. Sometimes, though, when your body doesn't feel safe, your body isn't really the best place to put your attention. Some external anchors that we can think about that are outside of your body, focusing on your breath when it feels overwhelming. Instead, maybe you can be outside and you can listen to the sound of birds or open your window and hear them. Sometimes it could even be simple as like the hum of the air conditioner, the colors in the room, the feeling of holding a warm mug or being under a warm blanket, or the texture of the chair that you're sitting in. Anything that helps you redirect your attention away from thoughts that are kind of coming at you from all directions that you're having a hard time working through. Remember, allow them to fall into the peripheral. You don't have to make them go away. You can allow them to be there without focusing on them. Let them fade to the background while you focus your direct attention on a new anchor. Anchors don't even have to be sensory. They can even be things like values. And I personally feel like this is one of my favorite anchors because I really lean into my values as I plot my way through life. Asking yourself questions like, who do I want to be in this moment? How do I want to navigate this intense experience? What kind of partner do I want to be? What kind of friend or leader do I want to be? What kind of parent do I want to be? And if you notice what happens, your attention can shift from fear into your purpose. Now, again, this feels like thinking, right? And in some ways it is. But if you take a moment to be intentional about that thinking, you're thinking on purpose. You're allowing your thoughts, thinking about your values, to be your object of direct attention for a chosen amount of time. Another really great attentional anchor is movement. Our nervous system responds really well to movement. Walking, stretching, rocking, all of these things where you're engaging in bilateral movement, which is both sides of the body, especially if you're crossing them across both sides of the body, moving your eyes around the room and scanning what your environment looks like. All of these things are ways that movement can help regulate your attention and train it to stay with what you intend. Taking a deep, intentional breath while your hand is on your chest or on your stomach, or hands that are folded, anything that brings you out of thinking whatever thoughts you're trying not to think, letting them fade to the background and bringing your attention intensely into something else. Throughout the day, this could look like seeing the subject line of an email that makes your heart rate jump, and before you open that email, attentional anchor. I'm redirecting to my breath, to my safety, to movement of some kind, to redirecting attention away from the cascade of chaos and assumptions that's going on in my mind. And I open up the email when I feel ready, but I keep that peripheral awareness of context and perspective open. Did this coworker really just say what they just said to me? Did they really go there? Did they take credit for my work or pretend like they did something that they actually didn't do, or throw me under the bus, or who knows what? Insert, you deal with it. You know what I'm talking about. That's a first arrow, my friends. All of your protective parts are jumping into the driver's seat and they're ready to run this car right off the road. Take the wheel back. Conscious awareness. Anchor into something that helps you feel better. Redirect your attention. Take a breath. Utilize all of these skills in a moment of dysregulation to help you respond more effectively and not fire off an angry response. Just take a minute. And maybe the angry response is warranted. Maybe it is. But don't do it immediately. Make sure you're regulated first. I want you to leave today knowing that you have options. All of these things that you try in a moment of dysregulation, they're not magical. They're just becoming meaningful over time because you're practicing them over and over and you're pairing them with a regulated state and better results. You're teaching your nervous system to recognize all of these skills. We're going to talk more about the nervous system later, but for now, I want you to leave today knowing that you have so many options for ways to direct your attention, to anchor it into something that will help you find regulation faster. Because remember, your attention shapes how you experience life. So these attentional anchors, they're not about avoiding thoughts or avoiding emotions. They're not distractions. What they are is ways of creating enough stability that you can meet your experience wisely. So remember, we're not running from the waves. We're staying on the surfboard, all right? The anchor doesn't get rid of the storm, but it helps you stay oriented while you navigate it. And this is a skill you build over time, intentionally with repeated effort and practice. So if you remember one thing from this lesson, remember when your attention begins to spiral, don't just tell it to stop. Pause. Give it somewhere kind, wise, and steady to return to. Choose the object of your direct attention wisely. First, fastest, easiest is your breath. Second is up to you. And remember, every return strengthens that pathway back home to regulation. And over time, those returns become more natural.